Welcome to our instructional video on how to terminate a pre-polished LC-OM3 fiber optic connector. In front of me here I have the equipment that we're going to need to perform our task. Starting with our instruction sheet, a step-by-step guide on how to terminate the pre-polished fiber connector. Beside that, I have the fiber optic cable itself. In this case, it's an OM3 6-strand indoor fiber cable. Next, the jacket stripper. Now we come across our pre-polished fiber optic connector itself. In this case, it's an OM3 fiber optic connector consisting of the pre-polished connector itself, the boot, and the 250/900 micron guide. That piece might have been a little hard to see on camera. We have our marker, our fiber stripper, our Kevlar cutters, fiber optic cleaver, and finally, a ruler. Now let's get to the demonstration. We're all ready to get started with our termination process. We're going to grab the cable. As we know, it's the OM3 6-strand indoor. Now, this is where I'm going to strip the jacket, but depending on how much jacket you want to strip is really up to you. For the purpose of this process, I'm going to strip 12 inches off the jacket. So I'm going to take my ruler, measure out 12 inches. I'm going to take the jacket stripper, and we're just going to score it once around. And it should break off very easily. Next, we have our Kevlar, which we're going to need to remove, like that, and discard it. Now we have our 6 strands exposed. So for the purpose of this presentation, I'm going to grab one of the strands here. We'll pick the orange one. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put the boot on first. And when we do that, we stick the smaller end going over the fiber first. Then we take our 250/900 micron guide, and again, small end first, over the strand. Next, we are going to measure it. We're going to measure 50 millimeters from the tip of the fiber. We're going to take our marker and we're going to mark off at 50 millimeters. Now we're ready to strip the 900 micron buffer. So with stripping the 900 micron buffer, we take our strand in our hand, we take our fiber strippers, and I suggest actually cutting it halfway first. Makes it a little easier. There's the first piece, and then we go to our marker, and there's the second piece. So we're going to want to take a look at that and make sure that all the cladding is off. So we're just going to clean that up. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Looks great. Next, we're going to need to clean off this fiber. We're going to take our alcohol wipes. And it's already been soaked in alcohol. I'm just going to give it a wipe. And now we have a clean fiber strand. Finally, or next I should say, we're going to take our fiber cleaver, we open up the latch, we open up the second latch, and there's 2 guides. One is for 900 micron, one is for 250 micron. We're going to stick ours in the 900 micron guide. You're going to put the tip of the 900 micron to the 10 millimeter position, and once you have it in place, you close the first latch to secure it in place, and then you close the top of the latch. Finally, you need to push in the cutting mechanism until you hear a click. Once you've heard the click, you raise the top latch, you raise the second latch, and you should have a perfectly measured fiber optic strand. Finally, the connector part. We have the boot and we have the guide already in place. This is where we put the pre-polished connector itself. And we're adding the strand into the connector. So as you hold it with one hand, you're going to be inserting the fiber into the body of the connector all the way until you feel resistance. Once it's hit the end of the connector, you can then press down to secure that the strand does not move anywhere, that it stays in place. Finally, on the side of the connector is a latch. When you see it open, it means that it hasn't been connectorized. So what we want to do is you take your nail and you're going to be pushing it all the way to the right so you do not see a gap anymore, like that. And now your connector is secure and terminated. Once you've terminated your connector, you then bring up your 250 900 micron guide, which pops right into the base of the connector. And finally, your boot, which goes over top of the guide. Press up as much as you can, and then once you hit the threading, you're just rotating it over the threading until they're both touching at the base. Congratulations! Now you've just completed a fiber optic pre-polished field connector. Now let's check the quality. Now that we're set up with our pre-polished termination of our fiber optic cable here, we are now ready to go into a light visual inspection. And this is really what we want to do to just ensure the integrity of the fiber optic termination and the pre-polished termination that we have just completed. What we have here is a scope, and we have a 400 magnification monitor that's going to show us the integrity and the quality of the termination process that we just did. Generally speaking, when you're in the field, you're going to have a couple of different equipment. One of the more popular ones would be a VFL. It shoots a laser through and shows that it's a clean termination process. For the simplicity of this demonstration, what we're going to use is just a simple light source. I have here just my iPhone camera with a light on it. So what we're going to do to start, first off, we take the dust cap off the connector. And secondly, we're going to insert the connector into the scope. And what we show here on the monitor is the quality of the core. Now what we do is we take our light source, and what we want to see is a very clear light shining through that 50 micron center core. I take the light away, I put it back. And right there, that shows the successful completion of our pre-polished fiber connector. And that's it. I hope this video has been helpful. If you have any questions at all, please visit us on our website or contact one of our customer service reps. Thanks for watching.